Welcome. Today we are looking at the marketing environment, focusing on the microenvironment. This is a key topic in your marketing exams for SS1. Pay close attention. Let us begin. First, let me explain the meaning of the microenvironment. The microenvironment consists of the actors close to the company that affect its ability to serve its customers. These actors are directly connected to the company. The company can influence them but cannot control them completely. The microenvironment includes the company itself, suppliers, marketing intermediaries, customers, competitors, and publics. The company is part of the microenvironment, but we already covered the internal environment in the previous topic. Here, we focus on the external actors in the microenvironment. Understanding the microenvironment is essential for marketing success. Marketers must build relationships with these actors. They must monitor changes. They must adapt their strategies. Now let me explain the suppliers in the microenvironment. Suppliers are businesses that provide the resources needed by the company to produce its goods and services. Suppliers include raw material providers, component manufacturers, and service providers. Supplier problems can seriously affect marketing. Supply shortages can delay production. Price increases can raise costs. Quality problems can damage the final product. For example, if a car manufacturer's tire supplier provides faulty tires, the car manufacturer's reputation will suffer. If a restaurant's food supplier delivers late, customers may not get their meals. Smart marketers treat suppliers as partners. They build good relationships. They may have backup suppliers in case of problems. They may also work with suppliers to improve quality and reduce costs. In some cases, companies integrate backward. They buy their suppliers. This gives them more control. However, it also requires significant investment. Most companies prefer to work closely with suppliers rather than own them. Now, let me explain the marketing intermediaries in the microenvironment. Marketing intermediaries are firms that help the company to promote, sell, and distribute its goods to final buyers. They include resellers, physical distribution firms, marketing services agencies, and financial intermediaries. Resellers are distribution channel firms that help the company find customers or make sales to them. Resellers include wholesalers and retailers. Wholesalers buy in bulk from producers and sell to retailers. Retailers sell to final consumers. Choosing the right resellers is critical. A good product with good advertising will fail if resellers do not stock it or push it. Physical distribution firms help the company to stock and move goods from their points of origin to their destinations. They include warehouses and transportation companies. Warehouses store goods. Transportation companies move goods. Choosing the right distribution partners affects cost, speed, and reliability. Marketing services agencies are marketing research firms, advertising agencies, media firms, and marketing consulting firms. They help the company target and promote its products to the right markets. Advertising agencies create advertisements. Market research firms gather information. Media firms sell advertising space and time. Marketing consultants provide advice. Choosing the right agencies affects the quality and effectiveness of marketing communications. Financial intermediaries include banks, credit companies, insurance companies, and other businesses that help finance transactions or insure against risks. Banks provide loans. Credit companies offer consumer credit. Insurance companies cover risks. Choosing the right financial partners affects the company's ability to invest and manage risk. Working effectively with marketing intermediaries is critical. Many companies spend significant time and resources managing these relationships. Now let me explain the customers in the microenvironment. Customers are the most important actors in the microenvironment. The whole purpose of marketing is to serve customers. The company must study customer needs, wants, and behaviors. It must segment the market and choose which customers to serve. It must satisfy customers better than competitors. Customers can be classified into different markets. Consumer markets consist of individuals and households who buy goods and services for personal consumption. They are the largest market. Business markets buy goods and services for use in producing other products. They include manufacturers, construction companies, and service providers. Reseller markets buy goods and services to resell at a profit. They include wholesalers and retailers. Government markets buy goods and services for public services. They include federal, state, and local governments. International markets include buyers in other countries. They include consumers, businesses, and governments abroad. Each market has different characteristics. Consumer markets are large and diverse. Business markets have fewer buyers but larger purchases. Government markets have complex buying procedures. International markets have additional challenges like language, culture, and currency. Marketers must understand the specific needs of each market. They must adapt their products, prices, promotions, and distribution accordingly. Now let me explain the competitors in the micro environment. A company must provide greater customer value than its competitors. Marketers must monitor competitors' strategies, strengths, and weaknesses. They must anticipate competitors' reactions to their own moves. A company can be too focused on competitors. If it copies everything competitors do, it becomes a follower, not a leader. The best approach is to benchmark competitors, but stay focused on customer needs. There are different types of competitors. Direct competitors offer the same or similar products. For example, Coca-Cola and Pepsi are direct competitors. Indirect competitors offer different products that satisfy the same need. For example, tea and coffee are indirect competitors. Potential competitors are not currently in the market but could enter. Marketers must watch for new entrants. They must also consider substitute products. A substitute product satisfies the same need in a different way. For example, video conferencing is a substitute for business travel. Marketers must understand the entire competitive landscape. Now let me explain the publics in the microenvironment. A public is any group that has an actual or potential interest in or impact on the company's ability to achieve its objectives. There are 7 types of publics. Financial publics include banks, shareholders, and investors. They affect the company's ability to obtain funds. A positive financial public helps the company raise money. A negative financial public makes it difficult. Media publics include newspapers, television stations, and social media. They carry news, features, and opinions about the company. Positive media coverage builds reputation. Negative coverage damages it. Government publics include regulatory agencies and lawmakers. They create and enforce laws. The company must comply with regulations. It may also lobby government to influence policy. Citizen action publics include consumer groups, environmental groups, and community organizations. They may pressure the company to change its practices. The company should engage with these groups to understand their concerns. Local publics include neighborhood residents and community organizations. The company should be a good neighbor. It should support local causes. It should minimize negative impacts like noise or pollution. The general public is the broader community. The company's image among the general public matters. A positive image helps sales. A negative image hurts. Internal publics include workers, managers, and the board of directors. They need to feel positive about the company. Happy employees provide better customer service. The company should communicate with internal publics regularly. It should listen to their concerns. It should reward their contributions. Marketing managers must build relationships with all these publics. They must monitor public opinion. They must respond to concerns. They must communicate the company's value to each public. Now, let me explain the importance of the microenvironment. The microenvironment is important because it directly affects the company's ability to serve customers. Changes in the microenvironment can create opportunities or threats. A new supplier may offer better quality at lower cost. A new intermediary may open new distribution channels. A new competitor may threaten market share. A new public may demand changes in company practices. Marketing managers must monitor the microenvironment continuously. They must identify trends. They must anticipate changes. They must adapt their strategies. The microenvironment is more controllable than the macroenvironment. The company can influence suppliers, intermediaries, customers, competitors, and publics. It can negotiate with suppliers. It can select different intermediaries. It can target different customers. It can differentiate from competitors. It can communicate with publics. However, the company cannot control them completely. They have their own objectives and strategies. Marketing managers must build mutually beneficial relationships. Now let me explain the relationship between the microenvironment and other environments. The microenvironment is part of the larger marketing environment. It sits between the internal environment and the macro environment. The internal environment is within the company. The microenvironment is close to the company. The macro environment is more distant. Changes in the macro environment affect the microenvironment. For example, a new law macro may force suppliers to change their practices. A new technology macro may create new competitors. An economic recession macro may reduce customer spending. A cultural trend macro may change public expectations. Marketing managers must understand all three environments. They must start with the internal environment, then they must analyze the microenvironment, then they must consider the macro environment. This helps them develop effective marketing strategies. A common exam question asks you to define the microenvironment and list its components. Here is a sample answer. The microenvironment consists of the actors close to the company that affect its ability to serve customers. Its components are the company itself, suppliers, marketing intermediaries, customers, competitors, and publics. Suppliers provide resources, intermediaries help distribute products, customers buy products, competitors offer alternative products, publics have an interest in the company. Marketing must build relationships with all these actors. The microenvironment directly affects marketing decisions. Another exam question asks you to explain the role of suppliers in the microenvironment. Here is your answer. Suppliers provide the resources needed to produce goods and services. Supplier problems like shortages, price increases, or quality issues can seriously affect marketing. Marketers must build good relationships with suppliers. They may have backup suppliers in case of problems. They may work with suppliers to improve quality and reduce costs. Treating suppliers as partners leads to better outcomes. Without reliable suppliers, marketing cannot succeed. Another exam question asks you to explain the role of marketing intermediaries. Here is your answer. Marketing intermediaries help the company promote, sell, and distribute its products. They include resellers, wholesalers, retailers, physical distribution firms, warehouses, transportation companies, marketing services agencies, advertising agencies, market research firms, and financial intermediaries, banks, insurance companies. Working effectively with intermediaries is critical. A good product with good advertising will fail if intermediaries do not stock it or push it. Marketers must choose intermediaries carefully. They must build strong relationships with them. Let me give you a quick summary. The microenvironment includes suppliers, marketing intermediaries, customers, competitors, and publics. Suppliers provide resources. Intermediaries help distribute products. Customers are the focus of marketing. Competitors offer alternatives. Publics have an interest in the company. Each actor affects marketing. Marketers must build relationships with all of them. They must monitor changes. They must adapt their strategies. Understanding the microenvironment is essential for marketing success. This is the final topic for SS1 marketing. Keep reviewing, keep practicing. See you in the next topic.